Are you ready for some nerd power? It's the Falcon Paladin Hour, a podcast by Falcon, Paladin, and Somicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. Happy podcast day, Falcon.
Thank you, Sir Somicron. Good to see you're still supporting the Texas baseball team.
Oh, my favorite team and my favorite sport.
I know. It's
Yeah.
just good to see you supporting it in such a public way.
Ask me any Astros facts. I know all of them. Currently being coached by Dusty Baker.
Who led the team in home runs this last season?
One of the players.
Good. That's true answer. 10 points. Nailed it.
Mhm.
Man, you do know everything about the Astros.
Jose Cruz.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, I was going to give you points before that, but excellent. Good job. 10 bonus points.
No idea if that's right or not.
I thought you'd Googled it real fast.
Nope.
No.
I just remembered the name of a player. Don't even know if he's on the right team.
Yeah, I don't know either. I was hoping you did.
Uh,
I just asked a question that I could ask without knowing the answer myself, and that was a good one. So
fair.
anyway,
Ah,
anywho, yeah, happy podcast day indeed.
We are starting a little late. You decided to cast the game before our scheduled time, and it turned out to be Firecake versus Mana, right? And it was like really overtime. That's why we're late today.
Firecake versus who the heck is Firecake? I thought Mana was retired. What is happening?
Firecake Mana is a game that was played like 10 years ago for WCS, I want to say Europe.
Okay.
It went for like 4 hours or something. Like it's just a legendary long pro game.
Oh, yeah. I might have heard about that and then been like, I'm not watching that. Let's see. There's a VOD for it that's 2 hours and 10 minutes long.
Yeah,
but I'm wondering if they sped it up.
No, well, it could just be 2 hours, 10 minutes, and then the game timer is longer because those two things aren't 1-to-1.
Oh. No, yeah. According to GuinnessWorldRecords.com, it lasted 4 hours and 10 minutes of in-game time.
Yeah.
Which is on just under 3 hours of real time because this was happening before we synced the time.
Mm-hmm.
Real time and in-game time. So you'll never guess what unit was prominently featured in this match.
Ooh, I'm going to guess Infestors.
That's one. Good. Can you name another one?
Either Broodlords or Swarm Hosts. Which one?
Swarm Hosts.
Yeah.
Smack dab in the middle of the era where Swarm Hosts were just impossible to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And tons of games went long and really just bad times all around. So, yeah, that's amazing. No, just casting a plays badly Lion Cat 2v2 they sent in for Minrank Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes have fun, man. I don't think I've ever cast a game of theirs where we're playing standard. We're playing this normal. We have a composition chosen out. They're just like, oh, I don't know. I'm a big battle cruisers today. It's like, I'm going to go Swarm Hosts, I guess. Sure. It's great. They just have fun, and that's what I like about them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they know how to play standard, even if they wanted to. So that works in their favor.
But they could. They could sit down and study this and figure out standard 2v2 comps and timings and be like, we're tryhards, but they don't even want to do that.
So here's the thing. I'll toot my own horn and say I'm a little bit better than Lion Cat. And Lion Cat has often asked me to sit in and watch them play and backseat coach him to be like, how do I do a proper Zerg build order? Not that I'm an expert in that by any means, but he has tried, is what I'll say. He has tried to learn how to play a standard game.
Okay.
Sorry, Lion
This
Cat.
game did not make it seem like they were trying.
Oh, no, I stopped coaching.
Okay. So they dipped their toes into the try hard pool, and then they were like, this is not for us. We are going to do whatever we want, dang it.
Yeah. And it's a lot more fun when they do whatever they want. Well,
totally.
Yeah.
No, without a doubt. That game was bonkers.
Mm-hmm. The power of 2v2s, man.
Yeah. bonkers all the way down. Anyway, and I just super props. I don't think I did this in the game, so I just want to give public props to Plays Badly for actually repairing his battle cruisers.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't see that nearly enough in Terrans who use BCs, so hats off for that one.
Well done, Ted.
Yeah, excellent work. Anywho, yeah, that's the StarCraft news this week. I think is that particular game.
Not a whole lot else going on, is there?
Not so much. We talked about this last week. Just like not really anything until mid-December.
Yeah, I was.
Isn't Home Story Cup around this time usually?
No, I
Okay.
don't think so. But I mean, I was watching some of the regionals for ESL Masters.
Oh, okay.
ESL Winter, excuse me.
Yeah.
Who was I watching? I was watching. I missed Europe, but I watched NA, and it was like Estrella v Scarlet and Special v Trigger.
Oh, okay.
And man, Special looks like he has been not playing this game.
Oh no, Special.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. I'm trying to find the group here. Is he Group A or Group B?
He's in the regionals.
Yeah.
So Americas, and then you scroll all the way to the bottom until you get to the bracket. So it's not in a group.
Oh, I was in the wrong place. Yes. I see now.
Yeah. Trigger 3-1'd him.
Yeah.
And that like Special kept doing like these really weird all-ins or like proxies. Like he put a factory and an armory on the other side of the map to like lift the factory into the base and build widow mines, except immediately scouted and he kept floating it back and forth trying to get it back in there, but he had an observer. It was just some really weird shit. The one game Special wins. Trigger did like some really stupid build, and Special had like Cloak Banshees on the other side of the map, got a ton of drone kills, right? And it's like, okay, not drone, perps. Got a ton of kills, stopped the aggression because it was like a 2-base thing, and then just couldn't close it out. And I think that game went for like 30 minutes, and it was like a real slugfest.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. That sounds stressful.
It was rough.
Yeah. Straya 3-2'd Scarlet. Nice job with Straya.
Yep.
Not too surprising. Straya's a good player.
Mm-hmm. Reverse sweep, if I believe.
Oh, even more impressive then.
More impressive. Yep.
Man, Kellizer still poking away. I don't think I've cast a Kellizer game in years.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he took a break. Is he back?
Yeah, he definitely took a break because last I remember hearing was that he was like living in Finland or Sweden or something, right? Like he
went to Europe for studies.
Yeah, so he definitely took a break.
Okay.
But there was once upon a time where he was like playing at BlizzCon, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. He was representing the Americas well for a hot minute there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he doesn't have, let's see. No, he's been competing like DreamHack Masters from 2020, 2021, 2022. So if he took a break, it's not evident in his Wikipedia page.
Well, his results...
Maybe he's just not getting far enough for me to notice.
I mean, no, his results page is thin, right? Like he's got one result in ESL Summer this year. That's thin. He had like a little more last year, only a handful of things in 21, one thing in 2020, right? Like he's been not doing a whole lot of stuff. It's mostly just like the big stuff, like DreamHacks, Home Story Cups, Katowice.
Yeah.
And he's not really getting any deep into them. So he's definitely not going far enough for you to really notice him. But he's also skipping out on a lot of stuff that he could be playing.
Right. So it's kind of like been a semi step away. Not 100%.
Yeah. He's not like he went to military, you know, and he can't play in anything. He's still playing for fun, it seems like. But
Right. He's just been totally picking and choosing what he's playing.
He's not full-time anymore. Yeah.
Right. That's cool. What's up, Bovine Slime?
Howdy.
Howdy. Yeah. So anyway, good on him. Still kicking.
Kicking.
Excuse me. Yeah. So who do we think is going to come out of this America's bracket? Straya, Trigger, Scarlet, Cham, Special, and Kellizer are alive.
Honestly, no idea.
Gotta be Estrella.
You think so?
You think Trigger's going to take him down?
I mean, probably not. But it is
Yeah.
an NA PvP.
That's true.
Oh, I did catch some of, was it Asia regionals? Because I remember watching a PvP. Nope, wasn't Asian because I don't recognize this place. Maybe I did catch a little bit of Europe. Who was playing? Yes, it was Showtime Max Packs. They went Phoenix like every game.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was a slog. It went to 5. It's a 3-2 for Showtime.
Oh, please don't make that the meta for PvP. That is not fun.
Yeah, so when you ask me Australia or Trigger, my heart says, yeah, it should be Australia. My brain says, what is this meta?
Right.
So
yeah, that's a good point. You can kind of take it down, drag it down into the mud. Yep. Trigger could come out on top here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fun. That is some fun stuff.
Some good stuff.
So, all right. So that PvP, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. And then Scarlet and Cham are in a ZVZ, and you know how we feel about ZVZ, or I feel about ZVZ. And then Special and Kells are in a TVT. So it's like, all of this is problematic for prediction purposes.
Yeah.
Ah, well, we'll see what happens. We will.
This is just to qualify for like the main event and everything.
Yeah.
Which also, did you hear that Dark might not be able to go to Katowice next year because of military? Like, you can't defer it any longer, apparently.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose Rogue and Dark at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
That's not cool. Come on, Korea, help us out.
Yeah.
Seriously. All right. What else is going on? Oh, you linked me to the announcement trailer for Arcane Season 2.
Yeah. That's been...
And they were mean because the date is November, and everyone's like, November
2024.
And everyone's like, aw.
I was hoping I would get you with that, yeah.
Yeah. No, I saw plenty of people online complaining about it. They're like, oh, it's a November day. Oh, not the November everyone's thinking of. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, as we said when it came out, I'm willing to give them as much time as they need. Honestly, if they want to push this date and tell us like April 2025, I'm like, deal. You guys have earned it. Like, you are capable of incredible stuff, and if you need more time to make Season 2 as good as Season 1, you got it, guys.
It's wild to me that you'll be like, yeah, you guys can push it to like April if you need, right? What if they said like it's October 2024 and they go, you know what, it's not going to be done by next month. Like, we're going to push it to November 2025. We need a whole more year.
Fine.
Okay.
Deal. You got it, guys.
But you'll also just sit there and be like, George R. R. Martin's never releasing his books. Like, he doesn't get the grace of like, take as much time as you need, buddy. You're just like, that's never happening. Or do you just don't think Game of Thrones books are as good as Arcane?
No, that's really not it. It's once we reach 5 years, I'm going to start asking questions.
Okay, so if Arcane takes 5 years, you'll be like, come on, guys, what's going on?
I'll be like, you guys. And once it hits 10 years, like A Song of Ice and Fire has, then we're out. We're done. That's it. Sorry, guys. Not happening. You've had way too much time. It took you 6 years to do Season 1 for Arcane, and you screwed up and started over like 10 times. I watched your documentary. I know how bad that process was. And you did it in 6 years. And now that you know what you're doing...
I mean, I assume it wasn't the first thing they made, was it? Like, they'd made other things. It's not like they didn't know what they were doing when they started. They just decided to do differently. Was it the first thing they ever made? Arcane. Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, they had just random people in writing and like animation spots. And then 2 years into the process, they're like,
This isn't
this
working.
isn't good enough. And they hired real people.
Fair enough.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
They did that. I think again in the little documentary they've got, I watched, and every department they were like, we need to hire real people for this. This is
That's
not
funny.
working out. This is not reaching what we're trying to do. So it's insane they did as well as they did, considering all of those changes and mistakes and all the times they had to start over with what they had. Yeah, I remember specifically they said they brought in a writer who had head writing credits on like, I'm trying to remember the shows she did, but they were it's like impressive stuff.
Mm.
And they bring her in and they've got a writing room and there's this whiteboard with like general plot points and story ideas. And she looks at it, she looks at them, and they're like, you can do whatever you want. And she just like erases the whole thing.
That's great.
Yeah. And I get props to the guys at Riot for being like, they don't have ego. Like, yeah, we did all this work and we recognize it wasn't up to the standards of what we wanted it to be. And someone was better at it than we were. And let's let them cook. I mean, I feel like most people would not be as able to take that path. I think more ego would be involved with most humans.
Because like most places would just be like, well, we set a deadline for this date. We want it out by then. Like you've just got to meet deadlines.
Yes.
But to just be like, no, take your time, do what you need. Yeah.
And I mean, to be
impressive.
It is. And to be fair, it's League of Legends money. So they are swimming in cash.
Right.
And if they have a deadline they don't hit, they're like, whatever.
They're like, you guys want to take 6 years and only use 1% of our marketing budget for this TV show? Go for it. Like, it's fine.
Exactly. That's a huge part of this. Because, again, most companies would have been like, we're cutting the cord, pulling out the plug after the 3rd year of us being like, we had to start over on the animation. They're like, nope, you're done. We're out.
Yeah. Like, roll it back 10 years ago. Halo, like a movie was going to get made, and like people were floating names around like Peter Jackson.
Oh.
Right, was going to be on it. And then it gets shelved like overnight because it was like just spinning out of control of like in terms of budget and trying to get a story nailed down. And it shelved immediately, right? Like they didn't even try it. That was Halo 10 years ago, where they had all of the Xbox money, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. How long did that run? Do you know? Before it died?
Not long. I wasn't really paying attention to it at the time. I was like, I hope something good comes out of it, but you know.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't close to 6 years, is what you're saying.
No. It was very, very short.
Yeah.
Like I'd be surprised if it was like a year even.
Yeah. So Microsoft, just had a much, much shorter leash for that project, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am really excited for Arcane Season 2. Although part of me is like, I don't know how you reach the heights of Season 1. Because a lot of what made Season 1 what it is character progression and growth.
Right.
And I kind of feel like at the end of Season 1, we have a lot of the characters where they are, you know? They've reached a character arc conclusion.
I hear League of Legends has other characters.
That's true. Oh, no. I have to like more characters in League of Legends now? I feel about liking the that I like now.
Sorry.
Dang it. They can't abandon it because Jinx launched a nuke at Piltover.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll get a cameo as like a wanted poster or something. You know?
Oh, that would be funny. That would be amazing. Season 2 is an entirely different group of characters in a different part of the world. And like all we get is like a newspaper headline: Piltover City Council destroyed. Jinx wanted. And like, oh, that's weird. Oh, now what we're doing. Oh. I think I would hate it, but I might respect the crap out of it. That would be gutsy.
I'd respect them for trying.
Yeah. And I mean, what if they do it again? What if they're like, here are new characters. We're going to make you love them and hate them and understand them and with a whole new slate of brand new characters. I mean, doing it twice in a row would be insane.
That would be impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be impressed by it. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, good. So that's a year from now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Whole another year.
Although, considering how fast time goes these days, I guess that's not too long.
No, that's like a week for you, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Man, so I saw another thing that was like out in November, right? And when it's a year away, like Arcane, I get it. It's like you don't want to nail down it being November 5th or whatever, right? Because a month's good enough when you're giving it 12 months out. Warhammer 40k Darktide, a PC game that I love, is like, hey, we've got an anniversary update coming out in November. This year? Yeah. They announced it like 2 days ago. It's like,
what?
Can you be more specific?
Halfway through the month, they're like, sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Pretty much.
It gets here when it gets here. Okay.
So,
have they said what it is at least?
Yeah, it's like a new map, and like one of the classes is getting its skill caps like slightly reworked or something, and that's it.
Okay, fine. Right. Yeah.
So it's not like a huge thing, but okay. Why say it'll be out in November? Say the end of November. Say it'll be out December 1st. Just give us a solid date. Don't be like, well, it could be out tomorrow. You know?
Yeah. Well, because it's a Warhammer property, and like doing things the right way are not exactly hallmarks of the Warhammer properties that we know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
They're just not good at a lot of things.
They rolled out a new update to their website, like the store for buying the minis, and it is hot garbage. Like they literally couldn't import all of the image files for like you'd go to like a Rhino tank and it would have like the front facing view, and then it would have their stock image for image not found for the side facing view and the back facing view. Like
just broken links everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that sucked.
Warhammer fans deserve better than this. They deserve just more competent people in charge of this IP. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, we got a Hearthstone clone this month, so that was something.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's out on Steam. It's called Warp Forged. It's basically Hearthstone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The only thing that I think that it does like really different is that I think there might technically be more heroes than Hearthstone, because there's like 2 or 3 for every faction, and there's like 7 factions you can pick.
Okay.
Yeah. And once you hit turn 10, the game goes into overtime, and you go beyond 10 mana, but you start drawing 2 cards every time, or 2 then 3. So you just like at the end of the game, if it goes long, you're just pulling your entire deck.
Right,
to,
right.
Speed things along.
I like that. That's a good mechanic.
How much? I've played it a little bit, mostly like a game or 2 every day, just like get the daily login bonus, some of the easier quests to try and unlock the 1,000 different currencies that they've crammed into it. So I've played 5.5 hours. I don't think I've unlocked a single new card for the faction that I'm trying to play. Right, like I keep unlocking duplicates of cards I already have, which I can then upgrade in like not into better cards, just like a slightly fancier looking version of the card that gives you like faction XP along the season pass, which can give you new cards, or I could pay a bunch of money to buy packs. I'm not going to do either of those.
Yeah, no thanks.
And I also apparently picked the worst faction in the game to start with, and I'm not winning a lot.
Bummer, but it was your favorite faction.
Mm-hmm. It's the faction of minis that I play. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you know what? Stick with it. They'll rebalance. They'll be good someday. I think that's how that works.
Maybe.
Historically.
Mm-hmm.
Blizz came out with a Warcraft Clash of Clans clone.
They did.
This week.
What's it called?
I forget. My boy got it. Arclight Rumble.
Arclight Rumble, yes.
Wait, is that what they called it on launch? Nope, just Rumble. That's right.
Okay.
I just found an article from like last year where that's what it's called, but the launch name is just Warcraft Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah. My oldest boy downloaded it and he played it and he's like, "No, this is worse. This is like substantially worse than Clash of Clans. I'm out." I was like, "Okay."
Oh, that's great. I take it you didn't pay a lot of attention to things that happened over BlizzCon?
Other than them utterly disrespecting StarCraft at every possible turn.
Right. Well, I mean, besides the
Yeah.
obvious, yeah.
Besides that, yeah.
Besides that,
No.
there was they had the Dark Moon Fair on from WoW, like in the event hall.
I know. Yeah. I know what it is, but
Yeah.
what do you mean?
So there was just like an area that was set up to be like the Dark Moon Fair. Like there was carnival games and stuff like that. One of the
Okay.
things that you could do is you could go and buy tokens, and then you could spend those tokens in gacha, getting like stuffed toys or like patches for Velcro bags and stuff that they were selling and stuff.
Real life gotcha. Nice.
But
Okay.
here's the fun part. They put screens everywhere that were showing like what's on the main hall. So if you didn't want to like go to the panel, no matter where you were, you could watch it anyway. Sounds like a great idea because you can wait in line for the thing that you want to do and get the panel. What that actually meant was nobody was going to the panels and lines were being capped at like 4 or 5 or 6 hours. and the first day they did not cap how much of the tokens for the gacha you could buy. So there were people running there immediately, spending 30 seconds buying $600 worth of tokens and then spending an hour redeeming them all, where the people behind them buying like $10 worth had to wait an hour to spend their $10 worth of tokens.
Oh, fantastic. Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to nail that one. Why not just do it online? Why not be like, here's an app for BlizzCon. You can buy tokens and redeem them on the app, and there's no lines, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't know, because I would have a convention to do something in, you know?
Right. I mean, you could still do the other carnival games, have people, I don't know, shoot bow and arrows at stuff and throw things into ponds and whatever, that stuff. You could still do it, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Apparently they just really wanted people to have gacha games at BlizzCon, right?
I mean, yeah.
Sounds like
It is the
gambling to people.
Activision. Yeah, well, it's the Activision Blizzard experience in a nutshell. It's just that's what their good guiding light has been. I saw a Reddit post today that said that a former employee of Blizzard who spoke out claimed that one $10 mount in World of Warcraft brought in more revenue to the company than the entire Wings of Liberty release for StarCraft.
Holy shit. I mean, it's sad, but I kind of believe it.
I believe it. And I mean, it's just, we get mad because we're like, what is this microtransaction garbage? But every time it proves out that it's the smart thing to do financially in every way.
Yeah.
Just because people act this way. People react positively to $10 mounts in World of Warcraft and gacha games at BlizzCon, you know?
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, that hurts me at my core, but
that is the dichotomy of man. It's on one hand, it's being totally nonplussed for Diablo Immortal, right? Where it's like, do you guys not have phones? And then also being like, what's that? Mobile gacha games in WoW or shit tons of microtransactions directly from like Candy Crush or whatever in my game. I'll take that. You know, no problem.
Yeah. How's Diablo Immortal doing?
No idea. I bet it's huge in China.
Reportedly earned $525 million in its first year on the market.
Massively successful. Yeah.
It's just a reskin of an existing game with Diablo IP pasted onto it. Oh my.
It sure is.
Gosh. So by this point, no, as of June 30th of this year, they made $700 million with almost no effort.
It's true. It wasn't even developed in-house.
Right.
But so, hey, yeah, it made their portfolio look really good, and then Big Daddy Microsoft came along and bought them.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, so the lesson here is that for a game studio to really focus on quality games
Mm-hmm.
above just going for the gotcha, going for the microtransaction market
Mm-hmm.
requires a conscious, principled decision on their point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to ask, honestly.
I
Well,
mean,
all right.
indies are like making good games still.
That's true.
Yeah.
There are some principled indie devs out there who aren't just chasing as much money as they can possibly get.
So there's a game that I started playing uh, today with my housemate called RoboQuest. It's a action roguelite co-op first person shooter where you get different guns, you do runs. You know, you die, you level up some stuff.
So it's kind of roguelike?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's roguelike.
It is. Okay.
You know, I looked at Rise Up Studios on Steam. They've made like a couple of VR games before this, but this game is so much fun. Like, and it's at the moment it's $31 Australian. Like,
RoboQuest?
yeah, RoboQuest.
Yeah, I'm watching. It's all cell shaded. It's very Borderlandsy.
It's very Borderlandsy. There's like charming characters in the cutscene. It like the story's very not threadbare, but it's
Not the focus.
it's not the focus, but it's like very simple cutscenes done in like a comic book style where like this one girl is like leaving her village, finds a robot, reactivates him, and then like kind of goes and saves the world. It's like she's out scavenging looking for like food and water resources, and then like there's been a robot apocalypse some time ago in the past, and you know they're fun. They're cute characters. Like the girl gets along with the robot. It's good times. It's fun. Like it. It's I don't know how to describe it other than just like it's fun and it's not trying to nickel and dime me. What is this? It's 2023.
What is this abomination? This outlier in my gaming experience.
Ugh.
Kind of reminds me, Donkey put out a video today doing a review of a game, you know, from like the PlayStation 2 era.
Sure.
Where the story is just like everything was cool in this city and then dinosaurs. It's like, oh, that's the story.
What was this
Dinosaurs arrived. What was it? History. Dino Break. That's what it was.
Dino Break.
Dino Break. Yeah, I'd never heard of it either because it was really bad and not well received, and no one remembers it in 2023.
Initial release date October 4th, 2023. Did they remake this game?
Is that? Oh wait, did I misinterpret? Some of the games in the video are old, and I guess that one is new.
Okay.
Maybe so. Maybe that one is new.
It kind of looks like a PS2 game.
Yeah.
It looks like a PS2 game with better draw distance.
Yeah, right. It's on the Switch too. Because Switch will get anything. Yep. No, you're right. This is a new one released in October of this year, but it looks like something from the PlayStation 2 era.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Oh man, that's fun. Dead Drop Studios.
They've made game. Dino Break. Outbreak.
Outbreak Contagious Memories.
And Rail Break.
And Outbreak Endless Nightmares. Are these just like DLC?
Rail Break's not out yet.
It's got What's Rail Break? Like trains?
Power through hordes of zombies. 90s arcade style on rail survival horror shooter.
Oh, that kind of rail. Okay.
Yeah.
Time Crisis stuff.
Yeah. God, I'd love to own a Time Crisis 2 machine. You have no idea how much time I would spend playing that game.
I wonder how much they go for on eBay. $800 at Wayfair.
Oh, I've got $800. Wait,
Walmart just sells this? What the heck?
It's 800 US, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, $1,700 Australian.
Oh my gosh.
5,000 if I want the 2-player version, which I do.
Oh yeah. Oh my bad. I should have looked up too. There's an eBay one, yeah, for 4,700 US
Yeah.
on eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna spend a lot of time on it, I feel like it'd be worth the purchase.
Yeah, maybe I'll ask Santa for Christmas.
Is Time Crisis one of those ones where it has like the innocent people popping up, and if you shoot them, you get negative points?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think most of the on-rail shooters did that.
Yeah. That sounds
to combat the like Twitch reaction, shoot everything that shows up on the screen style of playing these games.
For sure.
Good stuff. Time Crisis 2.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was a Rambo game.
On rails?
Yeah, an on rails Rambo game. Yeah. But it was like a PC game. I just don't remember what it was called.
An on-rails PC Rambo shooter?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Was it just called Rambo the video game? It's an arcade-style rail shooter video game. Yeah.
For PC.
For PC and PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. So
that era.
I think, yeah, 2014 when it came to PC, it was like the last time I heard of a game being on rail.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. So, no, this did make it into some list of like shit games that I saw once. Like, okay, yeah,
I
bad.
never said it was good.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
I'm keen to see this genre make a comeback.
Oh, okay, you're into it.
Well, I'm into Time Crisis, and if they can start selling peripheral light guns, then I don't need a Time Crisis machine.
That's an excellent point. So you want a Time Crisis 2 remake, where you just have to buy a light gun.
Yes.
And you're good to go.
I think I own a light gun because Time Crisis 2, I think, did come out on like the PlayStation.
Oh, and came with a light gun.
Yeah.
So you have it.
Yeah, Time Crisis on PlayStation 1, and I had a light gun for this.
Awesome.
Yep. So I could just get my PlayStation 1 out.
I mean, that seems like a good plan. A lot cheaper than $1,700.
So like $100 off eBay if I can't find the game or the gun.
Is this your Reddit post? I'd pay a lot of money for a Time Crisis trilogy in VR.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. Are you Stromberg's Wet Utopia?
No.
What a name.
What a legend.
Yeah, I just posted this about 8 months ago, so it's, on their mind.
On everyone's mind, really.
No, this person's talking about spending hundreds of quid playing it, so not you.
No, I do not spend the quids, unfortunately.
Some British bloke.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, good. What else at BlizzCon, other than, again, disrespecting and not mentioning StarCraft in any way?
In terms of, like, it's interesting because they totally fucked up in some interesting way. I have nothing else.
Okay.
In terms of, like, generic announcement, World of Warcraft is getting 3 more expansions, which seems excessive to announce all at once.
I did see that. Man, they've got a cinematic for kind of opening the next expansion, and for all the people that have been laid off and let go and quit Blizzard, whoever is running their cinematic department has been around because they remain insanely cutting edge, the best possible stuff. They've been doing this since like 94. And every cinematic they do is just like, how are they doing this? I keep expecting them to fall off at some point.
They actually had such a huge backlog of Blizzard cinematics that they just fed it to an AI and were like, make us a new cinematic trailer, please. And it does.
I'm pretty sure Anduin has 5 fingers, though, so that theory is right out the window.
You can fix that in post. Like, you still have some people to do that.
That's true. Anyway, yeah, it's just, man, it's great.
I did not watch the
And
trailer because I assumed, well, one, I wouldn't be playing the new WoW expansion.
right, me neither.
And two, nothing that they show in a cinematic trailer for WoW will be remotely represented in the final release of the expansion.
Accurate statement. Very true.
No.
Yeah, I still to this day wish that the Battle for Azeroth game was anything like the trailer, because it was just like, cool, Horde versus Alliance. We're going back to our roots here. We're gonna battle, and then the expansion was like, no, actually, there's none of that. And it's like, but you've been
What you're
the
actually
trailer.
gonna do is go to two separate islands next to each other and complete a series of quests and raids and dungeons that'll slowly bring you guys together, maybe.
Right. That's not what I came here for.
Hmm.
I want to get along with the Horde. I want to kill the Horde.
Hmm.
That has
Too
always
bad.
historically been one of my complaints about the vanilla human playthrough in
Hmm.
World of Warcraft. You don't see an orc until like level 40. Every zone you're in has no orcs. It's the weirdest thing.
I think every zone should have an orc in it, but they're also all like the orc is still level 40, right?
Yeah.
To give them the feeling of threat. It's like, oh, there's the horde invading our territory. We cannot stop them. Make them feel like a real threat until you level up a bit.
That's a brilliant idea.
Hire me,
Anyway,
Microsoft.
that's
I'll
a
design your
long
games.
yes, please do. That was a long-standing complaint of mine, but
Hmm.
yeah, anyway, I don't know, the cinematics just mostly just Anduin and Thrall talking. Like, I don't think they're necessarily promising much of
Oh, okay.
anything, which is maybe a smart idea on their part, because they realized eventually that anything we
Hmm.
put up in this cinematic that's hinting at how the game's going to be is going to be a lie. So let's just
Hmm.
avoid that altogether.
Probably wise.
Probably wise. It is weird to announce 3 expansions now, though. They've always gone a one by one
Right.
thing. Anyway, Warcraft. I mean, apparently they're bringing in enough money through Warcraft subs and microtransactions, and this is going to keep going
Forever.
for some time. I mean, for all the videos that have shown and talked about the obvious subscriber decline in Warcraft ever
Hmm.
since Kata, it's not dire enough. The Activision, Microsoft, Blizzard has been like, let's pull the plug, you know?
Right. Right. I wonder if
And
they're like, I just had a thought that like maybe they're announcing 3 expansions just to be like the next expansion is going to be a 3-part saga. Like we're writing this now to be in 3 parts, not just like every expansion is no, but Jaina wasn't really the bad guy. This person was pulling this trigger, and it wasn't Sylvanas. No, it was the jailer. And so just trying
right.
to break that cycle of oh, but they're really just misunderstood, and it was all someone else pulling the strings from the shadows this entire time.
Which is annoying and terrible storytelling, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. That's the
Although on the other side, maybe sub numbers are super down, but enough people are buying $10 mounts that it doesn't make a difference.
right. It's like sub numbers are down, but from like the cost of running the servers is also down like 90% from 10 years ago. So I don't know.
Yeah. Also, can you still buy time?
Yeah, you can still buy time as a currency. Is that what you're saying? Like you can buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in theory, if you play WoW and make enough gold, you can just buy your subscription time on the open market. And the alternative there is people can buy subscription time as tokens and sell them for gold. So you can
Right.
just straight up buy gold in WoW now, right? And have been able to for a while.
Yeah, for years,
Mhm.
definitely.
So there's probably enough people buying. Well, is it hugely different paying for your subscription or just buying subscription with gold or buying gold? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah. Eve had Plex over a decade ago. Yeah.
So yeah, there's sites that trade or track the cost, and currently a WoW token is 298,000 in-game gold.
Hmm.
But I don't know how much time does a token get you.
A month, I believe.
Oh, okay. And from what I know about the economy of Warcraft, that doesn't seem like a lot of gold. Not for people who are playing enough to warrant an every month sub, you know?
Maybe
In
it's
this
sort of like,
downtime between expansions, especially.
yeah, when you got nothing to do but grind some gear, sell it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
someone
yeah.
else. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anywho, BlizzCon.
The thing I like about
Yeah. Nope, go ahead.
Plex from EVE Online is every now and then you'll just see an article that's like player with $40,000 worth of Plex in their ship was destroyed. You know.
Yeah.
God bless
Man,
Eve.
Eve. Still the greatest game in the history of gaming that I never
I'm
want to install it. Never
yeah,
want to do anything with it.
no,
But man, the best stories come out of that game.
not gonna touch it, but yeah.
No. Eve forever, man. You crazy, crazy mad lads playing that game, sinking tens of thousands of dollars into it.
Yep.
I guess that's also Star Citizen, though. A bunch of people sinking real money into that game too. But but is ship death permanent in Star Citizen?
It can be because I know they were selling insurance. It's
Oh,
like
good
part of
point.
the bundles when you could buy ships.
Yeah. What happens to your ship?
So
No, that's not what I'm asking.
It probably wouldn't be in Squadron 42 because that's like the single player primer for multiplayer, from my understanding.
Certainly. Yeah. I'm just talking about multiplayer, though. Yeah, so you have an insurance policy you have to pay, and if you don't have one, or you're behind on your payments, your ship's gone forever. Yeah, good point.
So here's an interesting question. If you can't afford your insurance payments, and your ship gets blown up, in the real world, like if you don't pay for your car insurance and your car gets stolen, you just have no car, right? But if you're sitting down to play a video game and your ship gets blown up and you had no insurance and you have no money, what do you do in the game? Like, how do you get another ship? Is there a free ship you can just get unlimited amounts of? Or
Yeah, I don't
do you have to
know.
like take on a menial ATB, like a quick time event to earn money, like it's Fable or something? You're at the blacksmith and there's a little bar going, "Ding," and you gotta nail it. You earn a little bit of
Right.
money, right?
Yeah, maybe. From what I've heard about the multiplayer Star Citizen, one of the ideas is that you can crew another person's ship for
Okay.
a salary.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another way you could do it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that feels like a way to accommodate playing with friends who don't want to necessarily all pilot their own ships. Because like, I don't know. I totally understand that there is going to be people whose idea of fun is I'm gonna jump in Star Citizen, roleplay just like a dock worker on some orbital shipyard somewhere, looking for work on different crews, right? Like that's gonna be their idea of fun. But that being like the demanded path for players who lose their ship in a PvP scenario sounds like a nightmare for a lot of people. Imagine you get your ship gets killed by XXX underscore Sephiroth 69 lols, right?
Yep.
And then you've got nothing to do, and you've got to be like on his crew now.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck.
That sounds not ideal. Agreed.
Yeah. And like, if you think about the loop that forms, it's like, okay, well, this player went out, lowered the number of ships who can offer crew positions, right? But increase the supply of people looking for crew jobs. So you take them on. Now that you've got more crew, what do? Well, you can man more guns. You can go kill more ships.
Right. Makes perfect sense. Just more.
Just more.
More forever.
A never-ending, infinite link of supply and demand there. Nothing could go wrong.
No. Sounds genius to me. Nothing could ever go wrong. Oh, Star Citizen. I guess just real quick towards the end here. So a movie came out from David Fincher, the director.
I think I saw Kojima reviewed this on Twitter.
Yeah, The Killer.
Yeah.
right? So David Fincher, who's known for Fight Club, he did Seven, did
Mhm.
Gone Girl, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Zodiac. He did the Mindhunter series on
Oh, okay. Yep.
Netflix. Is that where that was?
I think that's where I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. So great. Like
Mhm.
really talented director, does amazing stuff. So yeah, comes out with The Killer, which is in theaters, but then also popped on Netflix like at the same time, which is something we did during COVID, but I haven't seen a movie
Really?
do that recently. Yeah.
Let's see if it's there for me. Yes,
Okay.
it's literally on the front page. I loaded it up and it's like,
Ye-
"What's the killer?"
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's weird. I don't know why they did it that way, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so I watched it yesterday, last night.
Is it good?
Is good. Is part of what I love about his movies are the conversations.
Okay.
A lot of Mindhunter is just two dudes in a room talking to each other, right?
Yeah. Oh, God, Mindhunter had some really good conversations because it's like, here's a dude who is like, what I remember, my takeaway from Mindhunter is like, the main character is a guy who is not in a great relationship, right? Like it's the power balances are off or whatever, and he's getting, in theory, he's supposed to be sitting down and talking to the serial killer and interviewing him, but it's like the serial killer is giving him therapy and like, you'll get through this, bro. I'm like, that is a really weird reverse that I'd like chills. So good.
Right. So good. And
So
then
good.
this movie is like 90% Michael Fassbender on his own.
Really?
And I'm waiting for this really meaty conversation to come. And towards the end of the film, there are a couple that I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
there's some interesting dialogue here, some interesting power dynamics going on. Cool. But like most of the movie is just Michael Fassbender being a loner on his own doing stuff.
Fair enough.
So I found that weird for a Fincher movie.
Hmm.
But overall, I mean, really expertly put together, really fun.
That's supposed to Fight Club, isn't
I mean,
it?
technically, yes. Uh, but yeah, no, Seven is a detective team. They're always talking back and there's
Mm-hmm.
interviews going on. I mean, yeah, everything he's ever done.
I know for sure.
Zodiac is largely conversations too, just trying to find the Zodiac killer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that was weird, and it kind of takes the movie down a notch for me. But otherwise, yeah, enjoyable time. It moved. The pacing is great. The cinematography is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's really good. So I
Huh.
would recommend watching it this week if you have some time. Maybe we can talk about it next week.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at his filmography, right?
Hmm.
It's like the first thing he directed was Aliens 3.
Okay.
Which
Which that's not one of the good ones,
no,
or is it?
no, I don't believe it is.
So
Uh
Alien and Aliens are the good ones.
yes, I believe so.
And the rest of
Um
them are kind of garbage. Got
yeah.
it.
And then immediately went to Seven, which is a good movie.
That's a second movie?
That's his second movie.
Whew.
Yeah.
Seven's amazing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But then I noticed, like, after that, I don't really care, right? Like, Fight Club was his fourth movie, right? So, like, he clearly finds his style pretty quick. But
Yeah.
under additional credits, judging by the time, in 1983, the first thing he ever did that was a credited role was an assistant cameraman for Return of the Jedi.
That's a pretty good first job. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
So yeah, and he gets so a ton of cinematography experience working under George Lucas. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
I take it.
Yeah, so he's great.
Yeah. I'm also just noticing that he really doesn't like, he's not one of those directors who's like always on to a next project, right? Like,
Right.
The Killer was 3 years after Mank, which I haven't heard of, in 2020, which was 6 years after Gone Girl, which was 3 years
Right.
after The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Right? Like,
Yep.
it feels like he makes a movie when he wants to. Doesn't work to anyone else's schedule. Doesn't do it if he doesn't believe in it, kind of guy, you know?
Correct. He also takes forever to film his stuff because he is fastidiously bonkers about getting perfect takes.
Oh, okay. He's like,
He will make actors do 60 plus takes of a scene Like
Yeah,
just spend
Stanley
3
Kubrick kind of guy.
days. Yep, on this one conversation. You're walking down a street, and he'll be like, "You nailed it. Extra back here. I need you to do this instead. Let's do it again." And it's like, it's an extra. Who cares, David? He really cares. Yeah. So I think that explains maybe the distance between his films, is because he takes forever to film them. But every actor that I've heard interviewed about what's it like to work with Fincher are like, yeah, they're long days, they're arduous, but man, I learned so much about movie making, and it's like inspiring to work with him. So everyone's like, it's cool, it works in the end.
Right. It's long, it's hard, but damn, does it work? You know.
Yeah. Lol. Anywho, that was fun. And then there's the Killers of the Flower Moon, which came out a couple weeks ago with Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese. Honestly, a huge cast because it's a Scorsese film.
Killers of the Flower Moon?
Robert De Niro, Jesse Plemons, Brendan Fraser. It is about Native American relations with capitalism.
Oh, I think I saw a trailer for this when I was watching another movie. So general plot is that there's someone who's like married a Native American and is trying to like still fit in with society, but like has a deeper understanding of the fucked up shit that's going on because he also happens to love someone who's going through it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it looked interesting at the time when I saw the thing. So that's out. Is it also on streaming, or is it just like in movies?
I think that's just in theaters. And I don't know. I mean, what is the runtime on this thing? Google says 3 hours and 26 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is so long.
Well, 6 minutes will be credits, so you can cut that down a little bit.
And that's something the reviews have said, is like, it's good, but my goodness, you feel how long this movie is because it's almost 4 hours. Yeah. So that part of me is like, I'd like to see this, but oh my gosh, it's so long.
Yeah, I believe it. I will consider going and seeing this. Yeah. How long would you say a Marvel movie is? Like, if you said like just apart from like Endgame and Infinity War, which were both like 3 hours long, right?
Right.
Those are exceptionally long for Marvel's movies. How long would you say a Marvel movie is? 2 hours? That's where I would.
Let me tell you this: The Marvels, which just came out,
exactly
is
my
the
point.
shortest Marvel movie of all time.
Exactly my point, because I went to look up session times for Flower Moon, and I just saw The Marvels is 105 minutes, right?
Hour and 45.
Yeah.
So that is the shortest MCU film of the 30 we've gotten so far. Yeah. So average runtime 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Okay, so it's a solid like 25 minutes short.
Yeah. And that's something. So again, I listened to some reviews about the Marvel, and they're like, it's not great, but it's short. And so they're like, I've been to bad Marvel movies before, and they make you sit there for 2.5 hours while it's a bad movie, and that sucks.
So at least
the Marvels is just like
it doesn't
in and out,
right?
Yeah, you don't make me like consider my own mortality while I'm sitting in your film, and I appreciate that. So, extra star.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting take.
It's something, yeah. I think I want to say on Twitter I did see a positive review, like someone who enjoyed
the Marvels.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've talked to people who've enjoyed it. I mean, online, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's the reason it's tanking in the box office is a combination of a lot. It has not nearly as much to do with the fact that it's middling as other factors that are kind of out of its control. So,
okay.
I mean, bottom line, if this had been released in 2016, it probably does fine at the box office.
Right.
But part of it is it's a middling movie after kind of a string of disappointing films, and people are getting more wary of what the MCU is offering, and
We're actually hitting superhero burnout.
kinda, yeah, kind of feels like it.
I did
But at
say
the same time, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did fine at the box office.
did fine, but didn't like break new records, and that's what they want.
Well,
I
I mean,
did.
breaking records is a lot. It made $800 million. So,
It's
like, okay, that's not breaking records, but I mean, that's beyond fine for a Marvel movie.
It's true. I did see something. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently Deadpool 3 will be the only Marvel movie to come out next year.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Because they used to do 2 movies a year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of this clockwork thing. One in the, spring, summerish, one in the fallish,
Mm-hmm.
fall, winterish. Although Northern Hemisphere, I'm leaving out our Southern Hemisphere friends again.
We're used to it.
Yeah, I know. So TV shows are slated for stuff. Deadpool July 2024, and then TV shows. Yeah. Yep. And then the next movie is in the Captain America movie in 2025. So yeah, I knew they cut back. I didn't realize they'd cut back to fewer movies per year than they were doing.
Well, I'm looking at the release dates. It's 2016 is when they stopped doing 2 movies. So 2016
Okay.
with Doctor Strange was out with Civil War. And then 2017 you had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok. So that's from there it's 3 or more.
Okay.
So
And then they really ramp it up.
Yeah. So for the last 6 years they've been doing at least 3 movies, if not 4, and that's a long time to be putting out a lot of movies, you know.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, interesting.
It is. Interesting time for the MCU.
Oh, sure.
The other thing that I thought was interesting was Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
The big plot point of that is that Nick Fury and Ms. Marvel could not find a planet for the Skrulls to settle on for decades, right?
Yeah.
So they're pissed about it. in the Marvels, there's a planet with Skrulls living on it.
And it's like their planet. Are you fucking kidding?
Nope. So
It's out of season April Fool's joke.
Right.
Okay.
They're having major continuity problems with how they are doing this MCU experiment right now.
How hard is it? How hard is that to be like, hey, we want to use like these this alien race, like they've been kind of like a background, a thing that's happening in the background, right? We want to use them as like the focus for our TV show. Key plot points include they don't have anywhere to live. Just pass that as a memo, right? Put that in the lore. Someone wants to look up the file on Scrolls and make a movie or another TV show. That's just a thing that they need to be consistent with.
Right.
One line. They don't have a place to live.
Please don't make a movie in which there is a Skrull homeworld.
Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
It's bad.
$3 million a year, Disney. That's my salary. I will take charge on all of your Marvel properties and keep them straight. Right?
Cheap, so cheap,
unbelievably cheap,
unbelievably, basically free. Yep.
Essentially, that's 3 million Australian, so like 100,000 US.
Right. That exchange rate, it's good going the other way.
Yep.
Anyway. So yeah, it's complicated. I mean, I don't know. I like saying just make good movies and people will see them, Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's harder than it sounds, and timing comes into it, and demographics, and blah 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 blah.
Right.
Another argument I saw was that it was the way the marketing was more for MCU dude fans
Really?
because the MCU is like 65-70% dude.
Right.
And that they feel like if they had marketed it more to a female audience, like Barbie did, that maybe they would have done better. More female people would have come to the film and really enjoyed it.
Maybe. I worry because like Disney is such a like the Marvel movies particularly is such a like really embedded into like social zeitgeist, you know,
Right.
that it's very much in focus for everyone. And so the last time that they were like, "Hey, here's Captain Marvel," or "Hey, here was Black Widow," ladies, we got you. Everyone was like, or at least a lot of like a vocal minority, but hopefully a vocal minority of shit cunt douchebags, you know, who are just like, women leading in superhero movies. No. But,
I'm out. Right.
Right. And so maybe they just didn't want to take the risk here and market it that way. Because they were like, well, twice is enough. We don't need to see that happen again. And so maybe marketing it to dudes was the right thing to do. I don't know. I hope.
I mean, they did it, and they're the lowest grossing MCU film of all time. So
that's true.
Maybe they shouldn't have done that. I don't know.
Maybe not. I mean, yeah, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answers are. They don't either.
I'm here for plot consistencies, not marketing.
100%. That would be so nice. But they don't have any interest in doing that across their properties, and they haven't for a long time. Ever since Endgame happened, even during Phase 1 and 2 of the MCU, they were screwing stuff up.
Sure.
But like
the
there's a celestial sticking out of the earth we don't care about.
Yep.
Right? There's been scrolls hanging out on Earth for the last few decades. We have not mentioned that at any point.
Nope.
There's been no reference to this. It did not exist until Secret Invasion. I mean, then there's the obvious stuff like not every hero is available for every worldwide emergency.
Right.
But that's a function of the MCU. It's not really this phase's fault.
Right. That's just a function of it coming from comic books, which had like 20,000 heroes, half of them all in New York. How do they not all stop the same bus hijacking, you know?
And there were no budgetary concerns about having a Daredevil Spider-Man team up.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I don't know if they cared more. It was just easier before because movies were of a much smaller scope. It's like, here's Iron Man dealing with an angry business partner who tried to kill him. You know?
Right.
It's not, well, here's a group of immortals who have been around since prehistoric times and have guided humanity for the, you know, in the shadows this entire time, and now there's a giant alien sticking out of the planet, you know?
Yeah, and when Thanos shows up to threaten the entire universe, they're just hanging out. They're having a great time. They're watching movies and eating popcorn, I guess.
Well, in their defense, Thanos doesn't even show up on the planet till like the very end, right? Like he sends a couple of dudes who, as far as they're aware, like, because they're like in their own little corners of the planet, all they have is CNN. They're like, oh, the Avengers took care of it. No worries. We'll take the day off.
On the news? Oh, interesting. So they saw the story.
Right.
They're like, alien ship arrives, Avengers did stuff, alien ship leaves. And they were like, oh, problem solved.
Yeah. And then Thanos like teleports there later, gets the final 2 stones, and is just like, bye. You know, and by that point, it's too late.
Fair points.
Ridiculous,
points,
but plausible, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because like,
all right,
I'm gonna counteract your point of like, where are the rest of the heroes? Which is the only way to make them all super and hyper aware of every threat in the planet that the movie is based around requires all of the heroes to have total global surveillance on every human population on the planet, which is not a hero move.
No. You don't have to do that. You just need a group text. Because all I want is once a hero finds out a problem, everybody else knows about it and they can help each other. That's all I want.
Does it look like Spider-Man's suit has pockets? Where's he keeping his phone?
He has an AI. Karen can be like, hey, Pete, there's a problem over in Kansas. Go check it out.
I feel like she well, okay, one, I feel like she didn't turn up for a lot of the other movies, right? Like I feel like she's been
true.
Highly underrepresented. Two, he's still Spider-Man. How does he get to Kansas? Right? There aren't a lot of tall buildings between here and there.
Right, and that's a fair point. Spider-Man is a very New York-centric superhero because he web swings everywhere.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. Tony can be anywhere at a moment's notice. Thor could show up anywhere he wanted on Earth. Yeah, fine. I don't know how far the new Captain America can fly with his wingsuit.
I don't know.
I don't know. How long would it take him to get to Kansas from New York? A couple hours?
I feel like he would still need to book a flight. Like, they very clearly show him being like, I'm doing contract work for the US military now and needing to board planes to get to the location. He's just not flying everywhere.
Do they have the Quinjet still?
I don't know, but here's the thing. The Iron Man suit can make those distances in like Iron Man 2 when the like War Machine suit does it, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like Tony would have shared that tech at some point, maybe given his flight suit a little upgrade, maybe. But no, apparently not. But
it'd be nice.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah. But in the MCU, it's just budgetary. It's like we can't afford to hire all of these actors for this film.
Yes, that is the real reason.
Yeah, we can do it for Infinity War and Endgame, and even then, not everybody's going to be in every movie. So,
well, yep.
Yeah. And then they made $1 billion, so it worked out. Yeah, I mean, it's ratios. It's how much your movie costs to make and market versus how much it brings in.
Absolutely.
Because the Iron Man film brought in $500 million. Great, because its budget was like $50 million.
Yep.
But you can have another movie today bring in $500 million and it cost $300 million to make, and you're toast. It's a financial failure because your budget was so big.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's another thing that's going on here. Wild. All right, cool. Let's wrap it up. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out with us for another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour at twitch.tv/Somicron. Also, the VODs are uploaded to youtube.com/@Somicron.
It's true.
You can support the pod directly by buying merch at falconpaladin.store and additionally at patreon.com/Somicron.
All true things.
Yes, so thanks for hanging out. We'll be back next week with more wonderful stuff. Nerd-centric stuff. I think that's a fair classification.
Yeah.
So until then, stay safe and stay healthy. And above all, you take care of yourselves.